Hello, fellow Digidestins. This is Kyle D, better known as Ride My Avatar, bringing you the final red deck of my mono color of 1.5s. We got 5 decks to cover, one ranging from what I'll be playing, probably testing out and explaining why in depth, to being what we're going to be seeing coming down the road, with possible other decks you can play, whatever you got. Like, don't expect broad spectrums, like, I'm telling you this right now. I'm excited for red. Red is my favorite color. Red will never change, and I mean that for a fact. Red is my baseline color. I will always play it. I know red really well. My channel will be mostly focusing on red because, again, red is. I love red. We got War Greymons in there, Blitz Greymons. Everything about red is more my style of play. So I really know red, and I can be either really like a villain where I smack you for so much security in one swing, your opponent rolls eyes and goes like, what just happened? And that's like sometimes what we play in a style with red, and we play in an advantage sort. So guys, let's dive right into the deck profiles and start going over them. So I will save my main deck profile for last, and then we'll go over everything slowly. So let's dive right in. So first off, this is a Galamon deck. So this is taking advantage of Galamon's power. So if you have a red tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less, and then when attacking, trash one of your opponent's security for every 10 cards in their trash. So again, we're trying to rush and cheek out our opponent. Like, we're trying to make it so that when we swing in with Galamon, our winning image is Galamon. We have Alteresses and Omnimons in here just to help make it so that these are achievable goals in other ways because they're other outs for us, but we don't really mind them being in here. We don't have to go into them because Galamon is just such a beefy king that, again, a Gaia Force or swinging into our opponent's Digimon is an option for us, and we don't mind that. So let's go over that. So here is Digimon. So while there are 5 or more cards in your opponent's trash, this Digimon gets plus 1,000. Not bad. Then we have Koromon. Monodramon's in here because, again, we want a cheap Digimon to come in for 2 cost and nothing more. Then we have Agumon here for the on-play ability. Reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck to add 1 tamer among them to your hand. Place the remaining at the bottom of the deck. So we run 4 tamers to hopefully, out of our 40, we see one. So again, odds are, in equation-wise, we should see one of these 2 in that lineup. If we grab a tie or somebody's in security with tie, again, then when Galamon comes in, he gets to wipe up Digimon of 6,000 DP, which means a blocker usually gets killed in the line of fire. Then we have Biomon. So Biomon's in here for the same reason you would play a, what's his name? Man, it's rolling off the top of my tongue. Dang. Oh, it's Garamon's evolution pre, where it pretty much on death, if you have 3 or less memory, 3 or less security, you heal 1. So similar with Biomon, Biomon's on deletion, gain 1 memory. So again, we're using Biomon to swing into security more often than not, just to gain that 1 memory, that if our opponent is kind of like going like, oh, you only get 2 memory to play with. Well, okay, our Biomon was played the last turn, so we're going to swing in, boom. Now we're at 3, we Digivolve into something, or it helps get us our 3 to Galamon, just so we can Digivolve into it. We run Galamon because of 1,000 DP, very powerful, very good skills. Like, powering up just to swing into security and not have to worry about things is really good. Then we do play Aquilamon, so delete one of your opponent's 2,000 less DP. So there are some cases that we will see this, like majorly with Black having the little rat, Terriermon, stuff like that. They are all in that range of being sniped out because they are low level, so we can delete them so we can gain our memory off the Biomon or do whatever we need to. We play 3 Quartramon in here because blockers. We play Greymon just in case we go into a Phoenixmon line, and then we can still swing in for a couple security damage. We play Groundramon, Skull Greymon, because deleting a blocker, Black doesn't mind this after a while, so we have to be careful. Lavo Gartamon is the pretty much our requirement we've been waiting for. This card has been everything everybody wanted. I'm not joking. This is a card we've been waiting for. Like, this was what was holding Red back from overly pushing Blue out of the format. Because, again, this card here just literally said, hey, we now have a 2-drop that isn't 6k, but we have it 8k. So now a Greymon swings in, you're hitting a little bit better in higher numbers because, again, we could use Galamon in there. It's now 9, very much better to swing in higher. Then we have Gray Volcandramon. And, I mean, if we had Galamon and Yigimon, then we have this at 10k. So we got to take that. Volcandramon's in here for rookie rush decks. Again, they start slightly getting above Volcandramon, so we're not going to play heavily into it. Phoenixmon is in here because Phoenixmon is king. Then we have Omnimon, and then we do have this. So Alter S is in here for deleting rookie rush boards and anything else that might just tick us off. So D-Digivolution, all of our opponents' Digimon down 1, and if it has no Digi-Evolution cards or becomes a level 3 Digimon, you can't trash anymore. That's fine. And then this is the key word. Delete all your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. So this does not matter what comes in. It will delete all rookies. So this is our Rookie Rush answer. So you may make this Digimon unblockable for the turn by returning one of its level 6 Digi-Evolutions cards to your hand. Again, so we'll be swinging with Galamon, and then if we need to go into Alter S, we can pretty much make it so unblockable, and then boom, done. Dunzo. Our opponent really doesn't have an option. I mean, also Galamon kind of does it because when attacking, trash one of your opponent's security, so we don't care if they block, we'll remove one. Then we do have Gaia Force in here because Gaia Force is just fantastic of a card. We all know this. Then we have Tai Kamiya for security plus reasons, but also to get our memory to 3. And then we also play Tai to gain power to get over things and, like, again, cheap memory coming in because Galamon is in here to help, needs a tamer in here. He needs a tamer. So again, we gain that ability through this. So next, let's talk about a Blitz Greymon focused deck. This one is very focused on Blitz Greymon being D-Digivolution and then going into Alter S to finish games. So first off, we do have Yokomon because we'll be attacking into Digimon because, again, piercing with Blitz is really nice. Gigimon is in here for while you have 5 or more cards in your opponent's trash. This Digimon gets 1,000 DP. Again, power boost, power boost. Mondramon, Biomon in here for memory gain to just be Kamikaze for memory, just to get us from the 3, like if we're at 3 or anything like that, just to make it so our opponent doesn't gain advantage. Biomon's in here for Biomon because it's a low level play if we have to go wide. Then we have Agumon in here for Agumon plays because 1,000 DP is really nice. Then we play Dark Tyrannomon, and Quilamon is back in here to delete one of our opponents with 2,000 or less DP just to stop shenanigans that will come later. Cordramon is in here as a blocker again. Then we play 2 Greymon with security because, again, we're not heavily focusing on this. We can go take the slower game and just don't mind because, again, blockers, everything like that, we're just going to get through. Next, we do have Groundramon because Groundramon is in here for cheap. Larbagetta is at cheap evolution, so we have 2 now cheap evolution, and Skull Greymon's for killing blockers. Volcandramon's in here for security, deleting all your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP. We already know him very well. Blitz is our new MVP, so piercing because then when they block, we still deal damage. When Digivolving, trigger D-Digivolution 2. So you D-Digivolve your opponent's Digimon by 2 and one of your opponent's Digimon. So again, you can now get rid of that Mega on the board for nothing and then kind of get around it. Again, people will be playing a lot of stuff and be able to bring back their boss 2 levels down to a champion and only giving them like 2 memory to play with, maybe, or 3. They're not going to be able to climb successfully back up. And again, let's say you hit an Omnimon, break him down 2. Now you didn't have to kill him. Or let's say you hit a Millenniumon. Millenniumon doesn't activate because you Digivolved him. So again, Blitz kind of just makes it so we don't have to worry about bosses anymore because we bring them down or get rid of almost a blocker out of deal. So Phoenixmon's in here for Greymon, swinging with 2 security, big beefy boy, and just cheap evolution. Then we play 3 Omnimon because Omnimon is another. This deck is basically Omnimon Turbo. Choose one of your opponent's Digimon, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the shared name. You can unspend this Digimon by returning a level 6. We already know this. And then Alter S is in here for de-evolution and wiping up a board. Then we play a dedicated plan. So when one of your main phase, one of your Digimon gains this Digimon does not activate security effects of any kind. Sorry about that. Let me just close this. So, your Digimon gains, this Digimon does not activate security effects of any kind to check for the turn. So, add this card to your hand, not bad. Dedicated plan is really good. Then we have Greymon for Gaia Force. Again, sorry about that little ping. I don't know why. Close window. It's not responding. Fine, go to heck. So, yeah. Gaia Force is in here. Again, dedicated plan is just to make it so Blitz can swing in with no issue without hitting options like Gaia Force or anything of retaliation. We only play 1 Gaia Force because our slots are really thick. We don't really have much option outside of that. So next, let's go over Ragna Lordmon. So Ragna Lordmon's in here, again, is because he can do 1-punch kills almost. And it's ridiculous. So first off, Babayomon is, while this Digimon has piercing, it gains plus 2,000 your turn. So again, he becomes 6,000, hitting over everything in the game. Then we have Gigimon because a 1,000 boost is really good. Then we play 2 Biamon for memory gain. Then we have Zabuamon. So reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 Ragna Lordmon Digimon card and 1 Digimon card with legendary arms in his type among them to your hand. Place the remaining at the card at the bottom of the deck in any order. So Buramon is really nice because again we're gonna play him to search for basically our pieces. Next we have Biomon because Biomon is Biomon. Then we have Agumon because Agumon is 1,000 DP. Then we have Dark Tyrannomon because again we're just doing things with quick evolution. Here is Eggermon. So while this Digimon is level 7, it gains security plus 1. So again, we're going to use this in tangent with Greymon because again, both are in the range where we want to be playing Digimon to have security plus 1. So then we have Lavagertamon because Lavagertamon is a cheap ultimate evolution. Again, we're not running blockers in this deck because we are just trying to 1-punch kill our opponent and go as fast as we can. Because we do have piercing, we have these abilities where we can just push out and make our opponent just cringe because they're losing, because they can't block it, they can't stop it, they're just going to die. So again, and Ragna Lordmon has blocker because of Biolettermon's inheritable. So again, you're now keeping constant flow with the opponent where they don't have options to stop you. Now we have Doraemon because he does give security. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on his own inheritable. So again, that can get really scary. Then we buy Bioretamon because blocker. And then we do play Doraemon because of piercing. So again, really nice because they're all inheritables that we want to have. Then we have Phoenixmon. And then here is the boss. So security plus 1. So he swings naturally with 2. Reboot. So again, he constantly keeps standing so they can't swing into him. While Digivolving, you may place 1 Doraemon or Bioletamon from your hand on top of this card's Digievolution gain 3 memory. So if you were to Digivolve into him on top of, let's say, any of the 3 options we have, as long as you have one of them in hand, you can put it in, and then congratulations. You just played this really beefy level 7 for nothing at all. So guys, like, keep that in mind. This is how you're going to be facing your opponent. I love that it's the shield plus the sword. They both become shield and sword look, which is really nice. Like, their whole fiery aspect just disappears. Art is really fantastic. Then we have Gaia Force because again, popping your Digimon in the security is just nasty. Then Ties in here just to keep us setting at 3. Again, space gets tight real quick. And again, this is really fantastic. Now let's talk about a budget friendly deck. So again, this is like if you've got one trial deck and then you just can pick up some commons and stuff like that. So Again, Digimon, rare. Again, you want to pick this up. Gigimon's just really good. Koramon's in here because Koramon's Koramon. I don't understand why it's so expensive. Mondramon's in here because Mondramon is really nice. Mondramon is in here just because it's a 2-drop. Then we have Galamon because while this Digimon has 5 or more cards in your opponent's trash, this Digimon gets 1,000. Then we have Biomon for swinging in memory. Agumon. Tyrannomon's in here for jamming because, again, I'll show you what we're going to be doing with it shortly. Dark Tyrannomon's in here for swinging. Then we have Cordramon. Then we do have Skull Greymon in here to pop blockers just in case. Galamon is in here just because he's really good. Then we do have Breakdramon for our 3-drop because, again, piercing, breaking Dramon is really nice to do so because, again, he can swing into any blocker, break through it, have extra security attack because, again, of a 1-card thing that if it happens, it happens. Again, Volcandramon is security, and then Phoenixmon is security, and then we have Shadow Wing. So, naturally, yes, this card is terrible in a vacuum, but it's not because of its main effect that it makes it really good. It is its security effect. All your Digimon gain security +1 until the end of your next turn. So if this somehow gets triggered off in security, which can happen, you can swing into your opponent the following turn with jamming Tyrannomons or Breakdramons with piercing just to break through and make them really be afraid because, again, there's not much you can do to stop this deck. Like, I'm not joking. Like, this card is really good in every sense of the word. And then 2 Gaia Forces because, again, if you get a trial deck, you're not going to have much options outside of that. Then we do have Tai Kamiya because of 1,000 DP. Again, this is all just because if you picked up a trial deck and then you can pick up singles. Again, I'm not trying to make this overly budget. I think $300 is ridiculous. But again, you can get a lot of these cards for cheaper because, again, trades and everything like that. But this is just basically trial deck minus some pluses. So, again, take a long look. Hopefully you enjoy. And now let's talk about what I'll be trying out, like, going forwards. So, this is kind of what I've been theory crafting for my deck. So, first off, we do have Digimon in here for 1,000 DP. We really like that. Cordramon's in here for while this Digimon has 4 evolutions. Mondramon's in here for cheap evolution rookie rush plays. So again, if we go rookie rush wide, we can. We're not pushing it always over our opponent's turn. Biomon's in here for kamikaze death, without gain of memory, BS. Then we have Agumon in here for Greymon because, again, we do have Blitz and War. We're going to use it to get underneath him to go up, or if we have to, we can go into other lines of play just to gain a bigger number. Then we have Agumon in here just because Agumon gives 1,000. Then we have Greymon in here for the extra 2,000. So again, this Agumon will make him 6,000, having him slightly above and holding himself above, where again, he won't die to most things because he is at 6,000. And then we can just climb up and then have just Blitz Greymon just keep swinging in, or War Greymon keep swinging in, and just make sure we get over our Omnimon threats and get closer to that death goal. Then we have Dark Tyrannomon in here for Dark Tyrannomon plays because, again, 1-cost evolution is just really good. We have 3 Cordramon in here, 3 Greymon with security plus because, again, I love my baby Greymon. Then we have Groundramon because Groundramon's really nice. Then Skull Greymon's in here for deleting blockers, but it's also a Greymon target so that Agumon can go off and then we can just gain him another 2,000. So 2,000, 4,000. Comes 11k tacker for a Skull Greymon ultimate on the evolution line if we have to play him that way. Then we have Larva Garamon just because if we evolve over him, he becomes 11k as well and starts swinging in, and then the only thing that's going to really kill him are 10ks and stuff like that, which people start slowly moving away from. The 12ks and the 15s, well, again, you'll play level 7s no matter what. Then we have War Greymon in here for keeping options off if we have to go into that play, and I love War Greymon. There's nothing about it I would never say I would never not play this card. I love it. I might take him out if cards get better, but again, we have Blitz Greymon for the piercing and Devolution 2 just to get blocks, big guys off the board unless they slam down their Craniumon, and then you really can't do anything about it. Then Phoenixmon's in here because Phoenixmon is fantastic. Then we do have Omnimon in here to wipe boards, but again, he's not our main focus. He is a backup source. Again, like, we have two options. We have Ultra-Rest to kind of get rid of issues and get around a blocking Craniumon play. So again, they're both equally important, so I seeing them at 2 is really good. And then we have Gaia Force at 3 just to remove one of our opponent's Digimon, and then Security Tie because again, removing our opponent's stuff is just too good. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Remember to smash like, comment, subscribe, everything like that. Hopefully these deck profiles kind of gave you some spicy red ideas to go with. Again, this is all to help you guys get started and not like giving you the end all be all answers for these decks. And tomorrow will be my rookie rush builds, and catch me tonight if it is 3/12. We're going to be live streaming my box opening. I got 4 boxes to open up, and let's see what we get. So guys, without further ado, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.